Hello everyone, I'm Vaalbara. In this video, I'll be explaining the first chapter of a novel, World-Linked Entity, a dark fantasy story where the world itself is alive, and every action echoes across realms. If you enjoy deep lore, powerful entities, and stories that unfold layer by layer, this one is for you. The Single Shadow of Vaalbara. Before the seas learned to divide, before borders learned to lie, there was only Vaalbara. One continent. One body of land so vast that its edges curved away into legend. Mountains rose like broken blades along its spine. Forests rotted and rebirthed themselves in endless cycles, and cities clung to the stone like parasites that had learned to prey. The sky above Vaalbara was wider than elsewhere in the world, as if the heavens themselves were forced to stretch to contain what lived below. Power did not scatter here. It concentrated. Two families ruled Vaalbara, not by decree, not by divine right, but by a long history of bodies, wars, and quiet exterminations that never made it into songs. The first was House Kelvar, the lineage of swordmasters. Their dominion was steel. Kelvar children learned to walk with weighted blades strapped to their backs. Their tutors broke bones early, so fear would leave the body young. Technique was law. Emotion was weakness, and mercy was an affectation reserved for those too slow to finish a kill. A Kelvar sword was not merely a weapon. It was an extension of lineage, memory, and intent. Some said their ancestors had learned to cut the wind itself. Others claimed Kelvar blades remembered every life they ended and whispered at night. Their capital, Ironreach, was a city carved directly into black stone cliffs, its towers shaped like upward-pointing swords. Every street was a dueling ground. Every citizen understood that blood on stone was simply another form of decoration. Opposite them stood House Myr, the great mage bloodline. Where Kelvar ruled through motion and edge, Myr ruled through stillness and thought. Magic flowed thickest through their veins. Ritual sorcery, sigil binding, blood calculus, star-aligned invocations. They did not swing weapons. They rewrote the rules that made weapons necessary. Myr towers floated above the ground, anchored by runic gravity wells. Their cities glowed at night with glyph light and floating tomes, and their scholars spoke languages that bent the air when pronounced incorrectly. To the people of Vaalbara, Myr mages were not admired. They were endured. Because every advancement, every magical convenience, came with a cost that was never explained in full. Between Kelvar and Myr existed an ancient balance. Wars fought just enough to remind each other of mortality, treaties written in blood and sealed in silence. Neither family sought total dominance, because both knew what waited beneath that ambition. Beyond the western scar of the continent, where the land fell into obsidian wastelands and the sky burned to permanent dusk, lay the demon realm. It was not another world. It was a realm of Vaalbara that had refused to die properly. Demons were not a species. They were sentences spoken incorrectly by a broken mind. No single king ruled them, because no hierarchy could contain something so fractured. Instead, warlords emerged based on which fragment of thought they embodied best: conquest, entropy, dominion, covenant, devotion. Some ruled through brute form, others through whispered contracts that survived generations. Demons did not conquer land. They interpreted it. They infected places where reality weakened, where oaths were poorly spoken, where rituals were abandoned mid-circle. They answered prayers not meant for them because the miasma recognized desperation the way blood recognizes water. Even Kelvar swordmasters hesitated at its borders. Even Myr archmages triple-checked their wards when facing west. Because demons did not fear death. They negotiated with it. For centuries, the demon realm had remained contained, not defeated, not silent, merely patient. Its borders pulsed like a wound that refused to scar over. And now, something had changed. In Ironreach, swords had begun to hum without being drawn. In the floating halls of Myr, spells misfired, just slightly, enough to be noticed. And deep within the demon realm, something ancient shifted, amused, and finally awake. Vaalbara remained whole. But unity, like peace, had always been temporary. And the continent would soon remember why it had never needed oceans to divide it.